Citizens of Liberty Hill. All over Facebook, Amanda Young and others are accusing us of spreading misinformation regarding Liberty Hill's dark skies ordinances, and I want to show you some of their messaging in this video. Hi, I'm Pastor Bill Brandon with the Liberty Hill Voters Association. We encourage you to read the ordinances for yourselves that we have posted at www.lhvoters.com and make your own decision. There are many posts where people are making claims about the Voters Association, but I want to highlight some points from a political advertisement that came from Amanda Young. In it, she writes, "Protect our democracy. Fight back against misinformation and PAC interference. Don't let big money and falsehoods decide our future. Special interest groups and political action committees are spending millions to spread misinformation and sow fear. Their goal? To manipulate your vote and silence your voice. Recognize the tactics." And then these are 3 bullet points: fear-mongering, disinformation campaigns, and voter suppression. I ask you, is Amanda's ad an example of fear-mongering and disinformation campaigns? Under empowerment, she says, report misinformation to platforms and authorities. The reason I chose to make this video is because it opens up some important points for conversation, especially regarding misinformation, fear-mongering, and big money. First, I believe using fear to try to manipulate people's actions is antithetical to a world of liberty and human flourishing. I am grieved because I believe both Democrats and Republicans intentionally used it in the November election to try to win, believing the ends justifies the means. Creating fear will only burn down the world we love. But how do we address it? By labeling anything we think is using fear to manipulate as fear-mongering? I think this just multiplies the problem. I think we need to promote grace. So is Amanda's ad fear-mongering like I asked? To answer that question, I need to know the secrets and intention of Amanda's heart, and I am not God. Maybe she believes we are funded by big money and really believes that we're spreading disinformation and believes it is her responsibility to tell citizens about it. Another challenge is that communications can trigger people's emotions and create fear. People could read her ad and it could trigger fear that big money is trying to take over Liberty Hill, or listen to some of our videos and it could create fear in some who would see it as a liberal agenda taking over Liberty Hill. If we try to address fear-mongering externally, we will fail. It seems the principles of liberty require personal responsibility to be the point of quenching the fire of fear. If I'm having an emotional reaction to words, I need to settle down and think reasonably from a gracious perspective. That is the only way we can create a world of liberty rather than of coercion. Next, Amanda talks a lot about misinformation. I think this is something we also need to think deeply about as a society. I listened to Obama's speech at Stanford about the dangers of misinformation, and he suggested that we need to find a way to police it. I've studied enough to agree with Obama that there is a lot of misinformation and that it currently has a very negative impact on culture. My solution is the exact opposite of his. His looks to a police state to control it, expecting the elites to decide for us what is misinformation. I believe we need to develop the character and values that can handle the responsibility of a world with instant access to information through the internet and through information created by AI. We do this by teaching people the principles and values of liberty that include thinking critically and analytically, and enculturating values such as people are innocent until proven guilty, and being honest about what we know versus what we just suspect to be true. There are many other values that we need to enculturate to maintain liberty in a world with instant access to information, but that is for another video. My point is that we must do it in a way that promotes liberty rather than tyranny. Finally, Amanda suggests, and maybe even believes, our PAC is funded by big money. She is free to believe and speak what she likes, and I support that freedom. Her argument regarding big money, however, is a common theme on posts. To me, such comments seem to play into citizens' fear of growth and desire to keep Liberty Hill small. While we are not funded by big money, I will tell you my priorities. Because our PAC is founded on liberty, we have great diversity of opinions among our members. My first priority is the actual citizens living in homes in Liberty Hill. Among them, I have a deep commitment to the poor and those on fixed incomes. then the youth who will have to inherit the world we create. Because I care for citizens, especially the poor, I want to protect them from property taxes. All around Liberty Hill, residential development is happening, and if it isn't part of the city, it will still increase the costs of the city. Those costs will either be paid by property tax or by other revenue. While the highest income for the city is permitting and fees, this is only temporary until the city is at capacity. The second highest revenue is sales tax revenue. Sales tax revenue, combined with adding additional property taxes from commercial properties, in my opinion, is how we protect citizens from rising home property taxes. We need to incorporate business owners into the we of Liberty Hill and not see it as an us versus them. Growth is happening whether we like it or not. We need leaders who understand the principles of liberty and human flourishing and will lead us in a way that will protect citizens from growing property taxes. I encourage you to go to our website and learn about the candidates that we endorse and decide for yourself if they are the right leaders for Liberty Hill.